Deep within the heart of the forest, where the canopy overhead filters the sunlight into a soft emerald glow, Mike has made his home. For years he has lived a solitary life, far removed from the hustle and bustle of civilizations. The woods have become his sanctuary, a place where he can live in harmony with nature and escape the complexities of human relationships. Mike's days are simple and predictable. He spends his mornings tending to his garden, where he grows his own fruits and vegetables. The afternoons are often filled with foraging for wild herbs and berries, or repairing his small cabin, which he built with his own hands. The evenings are reserved for reading by the fire, the flickering flames casting shadows on the walls as he loses himself in the pages of his favorite books. This routine has been his life for so long that Mike has grown accustomed to the silence. The only sounds he is familiar with are the natural ones, the chirping of birds, the rustling of leaves, and the distant rumble of the waterfalls. It is a peaceful existence, one that Mike has grown to cherish deeply. One day, as Mike is out gathering firewood, he notices a figure in the distance. At first he thinks it's just a trick of the light, a shadow cast by a tree. But as the figure draws closer, Mike realizes it's a young man dressed in hiking gear and carrying a large backpack. The stranger looks disheveled, his clothes dirty, and his expression worried. Mike watches from a distance, curious about the intruder in his woods. The young man, whose name is Leo, has been hiking for days and has lost his ways. Exhausted and hungry, he stumbles upon Mike's cabin, hoping to find shelter and perhaps some help. As Mike observes Leo approaching his home, he feels a mix of emotions. Part of him is wary of this stranger, concerned about his privacy and the solitude he has grown to love. Yet, there's also a sense of curiosity, a desire to understand who this person is and why they are here. Leo, upon reaching the cabin, is relieved to find it inhabited. He knocks on the door, and when Mike answers, Leo explains his situation, asking for assistance in finding his way back to civilization. Mike, though initially hesitant, agrees to help, inviting Leo in for the night. As the evening unfolds, Mike finds himself drawn to Leo's stories of his adventures on the trails. Leo is charismatic with a warm smile and infectious laughs. Mike, who has not had much human interaction in years, is captivated by Leo's presence. He listens intently as Leo shares tales of the people he met on his journey, the challenges he faced, and the beauty he witnessed. As the night wears on, Mike begins to feel a connection with Leo that he hasn't experienced in a long time. It's not just the conversation that draws him in, it's the way Leo looks at him, with a genuine interest and kindness in his eyes. Mike, who has grown accustomed to his solitary life, starts to feel a stirring within him, a sense of longing he hadn't anticipated. The next morning, Mike agrees to guide Leo out of the woods, ensuring he finds its way back to the trails. As they walk, the forest comes alive around them. The sunlight filters through the trees, casting dappled shadows on the ground. The air is filled with the scent of pine and the sound of birdsong. Their journey together is a slow one, with Mike pointing out landmarks and warning Leo about potential dangers. As they walk, their conversation flows easily, touching on everything from their favorite books to their childhood memories. Mike finds himself opening up to Leo in ways he hadn't expected, sharing stories and feelings he had kept hidden for years. As the day progresses, Mike realizes that he's going to miss Leo when he leaves. The thought is both surprising and unsettling. Mike has grown comfortable with his solitary existence, and the idea of being alone again feels less appealing now that he has had Leo company. When they finally reach the edge of the forest, Leo turns to Mike, his eyes filled with gratitude. "Thank you for your help," he says, his voice sincere. "I'll never forget this kindness," Mike smiles, feeling the pang of sadness. "You're welcome," he replies. "Be safe on your journey." Leo hesitates for a moment, then leans in, his lips brushing against Mike's in a gentle kiss. The touch is unexpected, yet it feels right. Mike, caught off guard, responds instinctively, deepening the kiss. The world around them fades away, leaving only the two men, suspended in a moment of connection. It's a moment that speaks of possibilities, of the future that Mike hadn't considered before. As they part ways, Mike watches Leo disappear into the distance, a sense of hope lingering in his heart. He returns to his cabin, the silence now filled with the memory of Leo's presence and the kiss they shared. In the days that follow, Mike finds himself looking forward to the possibility of Leo's return. He tends to his garden with a renewed sense of purpose, the solitude no longer feeling as isolated as it once did. Mike realizes that he is open to the idea of connection, of exploring the feelings that Leo has awakened within him. The forest, once a place of solitude, has become a backdrop for a new chapter in Mike's life. As he sits by the fire, reading by the flickering light, Mike can't help but wonder if Leo will return, and what the future might hold for them. Weeks turn into months, and Mike hasn't heard from Leo. He often wonders if their encounter was just a fleeting moment, a brief connection in the vastness of the forests. Yet the memory of their kiss lingers, a spark that refuses to fade. One afternoon, as Mike is gathering berries, he hears the sound of footsteps approaching. He turns to see Leo, looking a bit more rugged but with the same warm smiles. Leo explains that he had been thinking about Mike non-stop. and couldn't shake the feeling that their connection was worth exploring. Mike's heart skips a beat as Leo approaches. They share a moment of tender silence, the air thick with unspoken emotions. Then, without another word, Leo steps closer and Mike meets him with a look. As they kiss, the forest around them seems to come alive, the trees swaying gently in the breeze, the birds singing in celebration. From that moment on, Mike and Leo build a life together, splitting their time between the cabin and Leo's travels. They explore the world, hand in hand, their love growing stronger with each passing day. The forest, once a symbol of solitude, has become a witness to their love stories. It stands as a reminder of the unexpected connections that life can bring, and the beauty of embracing one's true feelings. Mike and Leo's story is one of love, acceptance, and the power of human connections. Mike and Leo's story is one of love, acceptance, and the power of human connections. It shows that even in the most isolated of places, there is always the potential for love to find you, and for life to take an unexpected turn. As the seasons change, Mike and Leo grow closer, their bond strengthened by their shared experiences. They face challenges, of course, but their love for each other gives them the strength to overcome any obstacle. In the end, Mike realizes that his life in the woods was not an escape, but a preparation for the love he was meant to find. And as he looks into Leo's eyes, he knows that he has found his true home, not just in the cabin, but in the heart of the man he loves.